guys. It's the 18th of June. We're sitting at about 76 degrees or 30 Celsius. We're having a beautiful morning, sun coming up over the mountain. Nice wispy clouds today. Got my walk in early this morning. Just cooling down from that. We got dew all over the place. Everything is really wet, but just a fantastic morning. Not too many dogs out bothering me. It's a shame. I gotta take certain streets just to keep away from these dogs. Even though they got chains that they can run out into the street, and it's just ridiculous. To have dogs that are just never off a chain and some never out of a cage. Just really sad here. Very sad. I don't know why people would even own them. But that's where we're at. I wanted to say something about yesterday. I had to do some rice shopping. My wife was running out of rice, and of course she just would freak out. So I got to run up to the store and buy some rice. We still had a little bit, but she gets really panicky when she's only got a little bit left. So I didn't want to go to the SM Mall or to Robinson's, so I just thought, well, okay, I'm going to go over to the Puregold. Well, here in Lipa City, that's my absolute last time I'll go in there for anything. It was just the most ridiculous thing. There wasn't that many people in the store, and the lines were horrible. The manager decided not to open up any registers. The girls that were operating the registers were, I guess they just don't know how to get good people. Not that they're bad. I'm not saying they're bad. It's just they're not knowing what to do. It's a little scan thing. As soon as they get an item, the one girl I was in, as soon as they get an item that doesn't scan, instead of giving it to the dude and keep scanning the rest of the stuff, she just sort of stood there and looked around. I went into the store. I was behind register 7. There's rice in the big piles there. That's the aisle. Instead of an open place, they just put the pallets of rice there. Grabbed the rice I wanted and was in the line. 1 hour. Exactly 1 hour in the line before I could check out. It was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. They did open up another register, but instead of somebody coming over and saying, okay, you guys that have been waiting in line all this time, here, we're going to take a couple of you for this line. No, a bunch of people just crammed over in there, and they just let them. People who just got in the store. So it's poorly managed. It just didn't seem as clean to me. When you go to SM or even Robinson's, those stores seem so clean. The people are clean looking. It just seemed grubby to me. I won't be going back. I won't. My wife saw a real nice thing like Tropical Tim had like a hutch that we liked. Now they didn't have the hutch. I went over and looked. When I was in the store, after I was checked out, I put my stuff in and went over and looked, because she had taken some pictures, and they had like a short one, like his microwave stand one, and then the guy said they had the hutch one in but sold it, and they get them in a lot. It's popular and it's nice. I really liked it, but I don't want the stand one. I want the hutch one, and they said they'll be getting it in, but how long is it going to take me to check that out? I just don't want to deal with that. That's just me, though. You guys can do whatever you want, but if you come here to Lipa City, plan a day. It's kind of like going to a resort, I guess. Plan a day, because they're not going to open up the registers. I know when I was in S&M, they had every register in the place open. It was just really something. The other bad thing, when they opened them up, there were ones that said cash only. They had opened up one that said cash only, and I could have slipped over to that one, but it was cash, and I was using my debit card. So it's like, what's the deal? So when I was getting in line, I'm real tall, I was looking over, and all those people in the cash line were given a debit card or a credit card or whatever. And I'm like, well, what do they got to sign up for? I was in the one only line that said cash or charge. And then they opened one to the left of me that was cash and charge. So why did they do that? Why don't they take those down? I mean, everybody else seemed to know it, but being a foreigner here, I'm starting to see that signs in this country mean absolutely nothing. Just nothing. And I did see, though, when I was standing in line, that they have all the little debit card things that you poke the debit card in. So, I should have known better, but I'd have hated to wait in that line all the time and then say, oh, sorry, maybe the operator doesn't know how to use one or hasn't been trained on them. I don't know, but all of them were using them. I just was absolutely amazed at what was going on in there. But it's just something, we used Puregold when I was in Carmona, and also when I used to go to the GMA, and those stores weren't like this one. They were pretty clean. The one in GMA is a pretty big one, and we did a lot of shopping there. The prices are good and everything like that. But for my dollar, I think I'll be heading to SM. I like the SM supermarket better than the Robinsons. Robinsons was okay. But the one thing that got me when I was walking in there, the way the steps go into that place, I'm surprised a lot more people haven't fallen down. It's just odd steps. And then when you're leaving, it's just like our Carmona, even worse. It goes downhill. So if you shop like I do and really fill up your cart, I mean, I got 25 kilos of rice, I got a cart, sometimes 2, full of stuff. You have to push your cart all the way up the hill. And I don't know how to get to the other side. I can figure that out, but I like the SM one a little bit better. But I just also seen on here the president agreed, you don't need masks in hospitals or anything like that. Yeah, I don't think any of these places are going to stop the face shields. I doubt it. They're just making too much money at it. They make you put them on, but when I was in the store, most of the people had them up over the top of their head. I seen the security guard was wearing his backwards. He had it on the back. I guess the COVID can get in through the back of your neck, but they weren't really pushing it. They don't seem to push it around here except in certain stores where they have a sign or something. It's just very strange here. But I still don't agree that it really is really helping. There was just a Japanese study out that said they don't help against the virus. And masks, the face shields may or may not. But I watched something last year where they did a mask and shield test, and all the different kinds of masks in the cold weather where the frost comes out your mouth. And the guy was just breathing normally. And it just was coming out everywhere. It seems when you put the face shield on, you're more apt to infect the person behind you instead of the person in front of you, according to what I was watching. Then they showed the guy coughing through the different masks and different shields on, and he did a long video on this. And I was amazed at how much crap comes out around them. And if you understand how small these viruses are, it just seems to me, it just seems to me they're not going to do much. And but of course, this is that same deal all these politicians pull. If it saves one life, like in the U.S., let's get rid of all the guns if it saves just one life. But they don't even think about all the people that get shot by robbers, because I always said when it comes to the gun laws, when they outlaw guns, only outlaws will have guns. You guys already know that one, but this thing here with the president in this country saying we don't need shields, I looked at that and said, okay, that's a good thing. But are these LGUs and stores and all this going to do that? I mean, they have things popped up in front of the stores where you can buy a mask. I don't think they're going to get rid of that. I really don't. And these little local government units here, some of them, they get this kind of power and they're just going to push it. I did a video before of the Baron guy when we were in Carmona where he took his little stick and smacked the heck out of this young kid because he didn't have his mask on. Just absolutely ridiculous. They can get pretty rotten here sometimes, and that was just one thing I witnessed. And if I witnessed one in a country of over 100 million, how many more times has that happened? I seriously doubt that was one single isolated incident. So very, very sad case. But across the street, I don't know if you could see those bars, but they're going to put a house right over there. They got a whole bunch of new starts coming up. I did get a thing on here where they said put the pressure tank in. Now I'm looking up these pressure tanks, and they say they'll, if you have this certain amount of water there, pressure, it'll increase it. The one of them I'm looking at said if you have 8 meters, it'll increase it to 20, like that. So I'm doing the best I can reading up on this, and I'm hearing some people say, "Oh, if you have this pump, it's gonna take everybody else's water away," and I'm not getting it. I'm not getting that at all. It's not like it's sucking the water. It's a centrifugal pump. It's only going to take what's flowed into it to increase the pressure. And I don't think I'm going to need this huge tank. Maybe. I think I'll put the smaller one where it's sitting on top of a miniature pressure tank. Looks like it's probably a 3.5 gallon tank. I've had them where there was a spring house where no possible way it could flow the water up into the house, and it wasn't that much. What gravity fed from the spring house into the basement was not that much pressure. But when you put this centrifugal pump with a small tank, and it had a smaller tank than the ones I'm seeing in the store, it gave good pressure throughout the house. I mean, all you wanted. I think that house was set up at 50. I'm happy with just so I can rinse my hair off up here. I get so many days where, I have to holler at everyone in the house, do not turn any water on, don't flush a toilet, don't do anything while we're getting a shower, because it shuts the water shuts off here. And I thought the law in the Philippines was you had to have 20 pounds or whatever their measurement is of water, and that's at all spigots. And they were here checking it. So now they're telling me put a pump in. I don't think I should have to pay for that. I really don't. They developed this place, and they should have had that. The project manager was telling my wife, this is hearsay from my wife, I don't speak the Tagalog very, very well, but he said they knew over here the water pressure was low, when they were building the house, because they were getting, it was taking too long to fill up their water for the concrete and all that stuff. They knew it was bad here, so they were getting water from, farther away. Just ridiculous, or starting to fill up a big tub of it early. They knew it was bad here. But I'm hearing complaints from the other ones. Sorry to whine about it, but you guys live in a place that doesn't have water pressure, and then let's hear how you sound that you paid for. Let's hear what you think. I get some people in the comments saying I'm whining about this. Well, a lot of you guys that are doing that live in the West, where everybody's got good water pressure. You got hot water, you got everything. I paid for a hot water heater in here expecting pressure, and the one I bought, it said, when I looked up the laws, because I know there's places that don't have pressure, my place in GMA didn't have a lot, it said as long as you have 18, their measurement of pressure here, 18, and the law is 20, this thing will work good. That's why I bought it. That was one of the things I read on its paperwork and had it sent directly here. Well, it doesn't work if the water pressure goes down, it's got a little thing in it that shuts it off. It doesn't want to overheat itself. The water is what actually cools this unit too. And when I do have pressure here, man, it's great. It's just not a lot of pressure, but it's, you know, I'll deal with it. I can deal with it. But when it shuts off, then I'm going to get cold again. It goes click. You can hear it clicking on and off. It's like a safety in there. So, but come here. This is what you'll get, guys. This is what you'll get. But coming here to this town, I want to just get through today. The stores here, watch them. You know, I can't believe that. And then the other thing, getting in and out of that store was a nightmare, because they have all these detours, and they just send you around in circles. It's hard to tell what is a one-way here. I actually got behind a truck coming home, and he must have been new to the area, because, you know, he started going down a one-way. Good thing I was behind him, because I was kind of curious about it, and some people on the sidewalk hollered at him, so at least I wasn't up on his ass so much, so he could back up and go the right way. Because right the next corner was a traffic cop. He for surely got a ticket. I saw a motorcycle going there that the traffic cop stopped him, so he was going to sneak up through there, I guess, because they got you going all crazy through here. They're fixing some stuff on the side of the road, and they got detours all over the place right now. So around that Solid Gold area is not a good place to have to drive. And I do recommend, if you have a car, the way it can twist you around in here, have a compass. Have a compass that works good, and that way you don't get turned around. Because a couple times I didn't make my turn, but I was thinking, no, I shouldn't be making a left to get where I'm going. I should be making just go straight, and no, it was a left. So if you glance at the compass, then I start saying, oh, okay, I'm wrong. So just a good idea to have it when you're first here. I'm still not able to take the motorcycle into that city area. I would learn it real quick. I've lived in places in the states that were, out in the country, and I learned how to get around on the bike. I used to jump on the bike and just take rides and get myself lost, and then find my way back. And I learned a lot of back roads and everything. And here I would learn the different roads on the bike, but I can't take it yet because there's no ORCR, and they have checkpoints over there. I'd like to get a lot more of these vlogs. I know the video wasn't that great, but it's because I got it lowered down in order for it to load. Otherwise these stuff take, even here it would take quite a long time. But we should have the internet in here real soon. And even Tim's internet here didn't work that great. When we were doing our live stream, we had a little thing we had all planned out how we were going to do it. And then when his phone couldn't start the live stream, it was like we all got discombobulated, but we still had fun. We were just cutting up and being goofy. Watch that, guys, if you haven't seen it. It's the 4 Chairs one from Tropical Tim in the Philippines. It was fun. We were just being silly. Mom was with the kids, and we decided we were going to drink a couple beers and just get silly. But a lot of fun. We're getting that sun come over the mountain now. It really come up over. I don't know what time it is right now, but it's got to be maybe 5:15, 5:20, and we're getting the light around here. I don't know if you can see the car's pretty wet. Had to bring a chair from inside out to sit in because it was all wet. And when I was walking over here, it was getting gusts of breeze, and it was raining under the trees. Yesterday afternoon, we had a really good downpour. Just cleaned everything out. I had taken all this stuff out of there and cleaned all the wings of all these little critters. They have these monstrous big spiders that carry the thing on their back. They had decided to move in that area and make a big home for themselves, and the kids are freaked out at them, so I decided those ones that I caught couldn't stay, and there was like 4 of them. Sucked them up in the vacuum cleaner. I don't see, they make a really nasty, disgusting web underneath things. They don't build it on the walls or anything, but anything you have low to the ground is just completely covered over in these things, and they're sticky. You get it on your hands, it's like you're trying to wipe it off. So I decided to evict them. They live in my vacuum cleaner now. But there's 4 of them under there, and eggs. They all they carry the eggs like on their back or belly, whatever the heck it was. I wasn't paying attention because the thing was upside down. But they have all these eggs on there instead of sticking them somewhere like you normally see. Heck of a bug, and they get pretty good size. They get palm sized. Some of the big ones I've seen. They had one big daddy one in there. But we're getting there. I cleaned the bug zapper thing yesterday. My little daughter and I cleaned up. We cleaned this whole area up, and then that rain. What was really cool, these little bug wings stick. They stick to the wall. They stick to everything. And when we had that big rain, it just gave it good enough time to wash it off. I also got all the ant traps redone. Made some new borax. And just took the old ones and poured boiling water, heated them up, cleaned them up real good, and put them back out. And I had a lot of ants going into them this morning when I was coming back from my walk, and I was checking that out, going, okay, this is cool. We have the ant problem very well under control. There's no more ants in the house that I've seen in quite a while. A stray one every now and again, nothing out of the ordinary. And out here, not a lot. I know when they start digging up these houses, you go over to this one over here where they got the block work done. It's just amazing. I'm going to do a video a little bit later. The sun comes up better, and I'm going to show you guys exactly how these houses are built here. I'll take a little hike with the kids and show you, because it's kind of interesting. I actually did go to a place where they were building these block homes, and the project manager was there. We were looking at some homes, thinking of buying at this place, and then they were building ones across the street, and I was like, wow, why are these blocks, you look in the States when they do a basement and they do the block, these guys like set the line right in the center of the block below it. They're very neat with a guy who does it good, and they're level. They snap strings, and they're sitting perfect. The blocks are sitting there perfect. And I was talking to this fellow was well into his 60s. It was a project manager, and good English, worked in the States for, he said, about 10 years, but missed home, came back, and then had been doing this job, he said, for 20-some years. He'd been doing this job for this company. And I said, well, why are the blocks so, they're not sitting even, they're doing all kinds of weird stuff. And he said that actually keeps them from getting cracks in the wall. He said if they put them real straight, they'll get a crack that goes up like a ladder or something. He says this will stop the cracks before they really take off. And I'd never heard that before. I actually talked to somebody, one of my buddies, and he said, that's crazy. But here's the thing. He doesn't live in the Philippines, and they don't build block homes in California where they have a lot of earthquakes. So, maybe he's wrong. I have seen in the stucco houses cracks like crazy in them in the States, where they spray the stucco on. So I don't know. But I'll get you the video out of that house because I found it kind of interesting. It shouldn't be as long as this one, but I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. Don't forget to pray for each other, and thank the good Lord for every breath and for a start of another day. This is Rickshaw out.